Hello, everybody. This is the Landedkiller show here. Today, I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions on the update 10.9. So we're gonna just go through this quick. I know the patch has already came. You're already in the midst of it. So we're gonna go through this briefly and what I think about it. We have the German tier 3 through 10 available in various forms. 3 through 9 available in random token bundles. You can earn tokens through personal challenges and other events which will take place in the future. Schlieffen will be on the auction block. It'll already be in the midst of auction by the time this goes up. So, yeah, because this lighthouse auction starts on the 7th, and this is going to be probably going out on the 8th. So, keep an eye on that. I'll try to have a video out on the auction as soon as the details are released. So, we'll go from there. The features of the branch is that they have less guns, a little bit more accurate, and yeah, they got the torpedoes and secondaries going on. They got hydroacoustic, that's similar to cruisers, fast damage control party. They updated the port, German tokens. So you see here, we get it from personal challenges, daily bundles, from bundles available for doubloons in exchange for community tokens in the Armory. And like it tells you right here, 3 through tier 9 available for tokens. Tier 10 will be available for auction block. See, they designed some decent camouflages here. There's not much going on. They say to 1,000 lots. I don't know if this just means NA or all the servers. That's what I'm curious about. So this will be interesting to see what the details are. Lighthouse will be held through the 7th through 11th, so perhaps that means that the Schlieffen will be available for that whole time. We'll see. Well, if the auction starts on the 7th, obviously we're going to have an article out on the 7th. It's too early for there to be an article here. Personal challenges are available. Basically, you go around and you earn XP at the start, and the missions get harder as you do them. Earn some tokens here. Earn up to 515 tokens, which should be enough to get you Von der Tan and Moltke if you haven't spent any doubloons. You can get up there for free out of the personal challenges, and then there'll be other ways to get it. I believe the leaderboard itself resets every week, so 515 times 4 is what? 2,060. So 2,060 tokens in total. Obviously resets every week, so that's the important type. You can take part in, you can play any ship, basically tier 5 through 10 that has a branch of the type. Personal challenges completed in random ranked co-ops, which is good. Unlimited number of tents, table of records set a week. We got our Halloween modes going on, so it looks like the operations themselves are switching. Like right now, we only have the first operation available, Sunray and Darkness, and I assume the other ones will slowly appear as time goes on. You can get into them now, the other operations, if you division, though. That's an important thing to put out. Twilight Hunt. This will be a huge battle royale event, pretty much with 16 ships. So you're battling against each other, and you're gonna battle against the Rasputin. I believe if it's anything like past Halloween events, you basically try to form a team, and then you and your team exit through the battles. So that's important. Or coordinate division mates need to create each other. There was a lot of people that took advantage of this event the last time it came around. Battle points will be issued to destroy monsters on the players. Having accrued a certain number of battle points, you can enforce your ship directly in battle. Battle points you receive aren't lost or spent in battle. Successfully exiting the polygon will double the amount of battle points you earn. There'll probably be a special section of the Armory for that. Players can take part on one of 9 ships, each with their own Unique style of gameplay. So this is where they pull in the tier 9s and tier 10. These camos look really well done. This is the highest level of detail I've ever seen on a Halloween camo before, honestly. You can't even tell what ship it is, basically, because the monster covers it up. Honestly, that's pretty interesting. Oh, and another resource. Earn battle points to complete weekly combat missions. This is probably going to be toward the later half of the patch. As reward for completing, we'll receive containers, community tokens, and new temporal resource Twilight tokens. I have not seen a Twilight token section show up in the Armory yet, so I assume it's coming a little later. Probably once this Twilight Hunt begins, so perhaps on the 20th of October that'll start with that section. Well, let's see what else is going on here. Twilight tokens, you can get permanent camouflages for some ships. Always decent. They created one for Admiral Hipper. Intanian Fleet permanent camouflages for Admiral Hipper. So they're going to look similar to this, obviously. Little steampunk going on with that little antenna on the end. It's not half bad. And great. And don't forget about the rewards throughout the article. They show up here and there. Another important point to point out is that Nakamov is not available yet in game. So I would assume perhaps next patch they'll make it available. I don't know why they waited. I don't know why they're waiting on that. Perhaps they got to balance it out more. So I guess 10.10, I expect Nakamov to come out fully in the game. I just find it to be interesting that we're getting the tier 10 for this new line out on auction, and Nakamov is still unreleased in any form. I just find that to be interesting. And now we got another Brawl. Finally. I love Brawl. I like going in there and having a little fun. So tier 8 for the first one, no more of one type of ship or team. I wonder what I'm going to assume no subs in this mode. If not, I'll stand corrected when the official notes come out for this, when they give out the specific article. 3 versus 3, tier 8. This should be fun. 6 Brawl, tier 10, 3 versus 3. No more than one type of ship. And of course, they got specific times for the 6 Brawl. Interesting. Reduce combat areas and domination. Team True Brothers and Epicenter. A lot of rewards for that. And now we get on to the big part of the patch, which a lot of people are concerned about. So they're going to be testing submarines. The difference this time around is that you have to earn missions. You have to go through a number of missions in order to get the submarines, and you're not going to get a commander for the submarines. So it's different. They've changed torpedo tubes so you can fire them one by one. Allows you to have more control over that. Width of torpedo launch sector has been increased, so I assume that's to maybe make it a little harder for ships to be hit with torpedoes. They made German submarines more long range, American submarines more short range. Increase the torpedo flood chance and damage on the Germans. Nerf the American range a little bit. They made the dive capacity depletion a little softer, so it's in between their iteration in 10.7 and 10.8 pretty much. You're still going to take a good hit. Then they changed the interface too. So earn the missions to get the subs for rental. Interface changes. I don't know why they're messing with this. Why I have to hit on a key just to see what my damage is, to see my fire. I think this change needs to be reversed. Now displayed in pop-up window. Okay, how many keys are we going to have to push just to see information? Pressing H. Okay, I want to just have it how I had it before, where I can just see the fires on indicator. You're just dumbing down the game again to appeal to the people who don't want to take time to learn the mechanics. Display of temporary talents, notification when talents are activated. Added ascending controls and allows to be permanently displayed in adaptive full. I'm gonna have to look around for that. This is the look at how much screen this takes up. This is a nuisance, not an improvement. I'm sorry, but this is way too big. The square itself should be about half this size if you want to sit there and be informative. I don't really think we need all this information to be displayed in game. I know it comes up by pushing H, but I don't see why they would waste development time on this. This part right here, perhaps? That? All this? No, didn't need it. And then this, you don't even show a timer for your fires. That's just kind of silly. So I'm supposed to guess how much time I have left on the fires by how the triangle moves? Come on. People are smart enough to know what a countdown timer is. Come on, Wargaming. Come on. It's telling you when skills are active. Okay, I suppose that's decent. Shouldn't have to hit on a key to tell me that. I should just be able to slide my mouse over and then it has a little pop-up which tells me that. Okay, so they're showing us where we can enable this option to always display timers for fire flooding and other modifiers. Of course, I'm going to turn that on because I'm an old school player. Now they're going to have... Well, this is the other interesting part, is they're going to have Brandenburg, Max Hellman, and Weimar, Gustav Julius Marker, available in 2 types of German battleships containers. This is going to go live sometime early on in the patch. We don't know the exact date. It could go live on today, the 7th, when I'm recording this, which is my suspicion. And they're going to have this unique commander, Johannes Meclinini. Honestly, I look at this and it reminds me of like Sugar Ray, the brand Sugar Ray, their lead front man, somebody from the early 2000s, like a man in a boy band from the early 2000s. That's what this captain reminds me of. So maybe somebody was thinking of Sugar Ray when they had this show up in the game. Loyan Giuseppe Vere, Marlborough, Novorsik, Flag of Cesar. There's a big King of the Seas event going on. Make sure you're paying attention to the Twitch streams from World of Warships and whoever else is having container drops. But I think it's the World of Warships official stream that's going to be having all the drops. And the King of the Seas collection supposedly is going away at the end of this patch. So you've been warned. New commanders, King of the Sea, Bane of the Seas. So it looks like the Kraken. Reminds me of like you're going to Davy Jones' locker. Unique commanders, which... Okay, this reminds me of what I said in another video, or a video that will soon go up. Yeah, the video should go up by the time this one goes up. I think that the game is turning into World of Warships anime ships. Seriously. I admire their resourcefulness when coming up with these designs, but to me it looks more and more like World of Warships anime ships because we're defying all logic, everybody. We're having ships that are coming into the game eventually that never were actually built. And they're going to sit there and dwarf the ships that were actually built in steel for most of the branches. I mean, come on, Wargaming. Stop with the super ships already. Then you see King of the Seas green, King of the Seas red. They're going to have a collaboration with Warhammer 40,000. Cross the Dorn, Ship Smasher. Ship characteristics are identical to Mainz and Finyong. You're going to have the unique commanders, Austin Riggerwald and Grossmart Smart. New flags. Adding in some ships for testing. This is going to have a marathon, Novorosik. I'm going to assume that this is going to have a marathon, which kicks off. This is how it's probably going to be. Patch 10.10 is going to have a Black Friday event, and they're going to throw this out there as a free-to-play event. I don't know if it's going to be a mission chain, like a dockyard event where you have to complete missions to get the ship, or it's just going to be straight up earn experience. I'm going to lean closer to it. It's going to be like a dockyard. You're going to have events that you're going to have to sit there and do for it. And then this is the dockyard ship, and I believe this docker will launch in November or December. We've yet to see when. They're adding in the old Imperial flag for the Germans. We're talking again, like how I said in a prior video, how they're going to change out Kabras and Großer first with Delaney and Prusen, respectively, and how you're going to get the new ship. You're going to get compensation for the new camos. You're going to get the new camos for free on the new ships. So you're going to have to research them. So you're going to have to research Delaney and Prusen. So they're essentially drawing you back down to tier 9. You have to regrind to get tier 10 again. It's just kind of silly. And Großer Kurfürst and Kabras will be special ships because they don't fit in the plans with the super ships, obviously. Armory, big changes here. They took out the premium containers that you get with the community tokens, and now you have a Zushi for 10,000 community tokens, a tier 4 Exeter for 15,000 community tokens, tier 5 and Leningrad for 20,000 community tokens, tier 7, and you get commander skills, and then they're going to have super containers in there for 6,000 community tokens. You get these by watching streams, obviously, but it's like not enough of them that go out every month for you to grab one of these in a month. You're more likely to grab one of these in about, you think about it, they usually give out about 1,000 community tokens per month on the streams alone, and then you have the Twitch container. If you link up your Twitch, that's how you get a lot of these tokens. You got to have your Twitch linked up. You don't necessarily have to have Twitch Prime, but you got to have your Twitch account hooked up in order to get all this. Other content and improvements. They're adding in some depth charges or airstrikes for various ships. Added for all tier 5 to tier 10 battleships. They made changes to rank maps to add in some new maps. And they're taking out Straight Sea of Fortune, On Range, and Trap, obviously. They'll utilize domination. They fixed the Missouri bug. They added an option to rent a commander. Fixed some errors with going to the low. Fixed error with survivability experts. So overall, my thoughts on this update are quite simple. I think that it sucks that submarines are going to be going into randoms, but there's nothing we can do about it now. But what you can do is you can make your mind hurt on the super ships, and you can say that you want them in grand battles only. I think these ships work in grand battles. I don't think they need to come into the game and mess with the balance. Because what's the point if we're going to throw everything out the window just for a bunch of paper ships that never existed? I mean, World of Tanks isn't stupid enough to do that, are they? No, they're not. A lot of the tanks in World of Tanks were real vehicles that were actually built. I know that more and more you see more paper tanks in that game, but at least the majority of the tier 10s in that game that are tech tree were actually built. I almost find myself laughing at the World of Warships developers for putting in super ships, because it just shows that they're not looking to continue on with what they already have going. I guess they think it's necessary to keep the game going by having the super ships come in the game. But you know what also would be interesting? A tier 0, where you bring out the pre-dreadnoughts. Everybody's already done the modern ships already. That's already what War Thunder does. Instead of actually doing something different and having the pre-dreadnoughts out there where you can differentiate yourself from War Thunder, you're going to put you're going to put more modern ships in the game because you want to appeal closer to War Thunder, I guess. Honestly, if it were me, I would have designed a tier 0. I would have created a separate mode and I would have put a tier 0 in, and I would have stuck in some pre-dreadnoughts because those were actually built and those actually have historical significance compared to these fantasy ships that are going to be coming in this tier 11. I don't care if they call them super ships, it's still tier 11 to me. Instead of doing something that people actually would like, tier 0, where you have the pre-dreadnoughts in, you're doing all this nonsense with fantasy ships, and you're really making this... Might as well change the game to World of Anime ships. Again, like I say before, I have nothing against animes. I feel like the game is becoming an anime in itself because we're doing all these ridiculous changes without really taking feedback in from the players. And I'm telling you all that you gotta make your voices heard if you don't want these super ships. You gotta really make them heard loud and clear like you did when the CCs left. I guess you guys would rather take a paper ship over an actual built and steel pre-dreadnought. And believe me, them pre-dreadnoughts have a lot of secondary guns on them, so it'd be a lot of fun if we got them. I would argue even more fun than these fantasy ships that were never built. Let's face it, they may have blueprints and stuff, but they're altering them. They're altering them, and they're creating new versions. Because as far as we know, design A150 Shikishima was the last blueprint design for the Japanese battleships. There was nothing beyond that. Satsuma shouldn't exist. Yet it does. Hanover has some historical basis. Satsuma, not so much. So, that's my overview of Update 10.9. Please remember to like, watch, and subscribe for future World of Warships content. And remember to reset your Twitch password because we got hacked. The Twitch got hacked. So remember to reset your Twitch password too if you haven't done so already. Even if you're not a streamer, because Twitch just had a large hack. I want to make sure that everybody's staying safe with cybersecurity. So take care, everybody. I'll come at you with another video when I can. Thank you for watching.